everybody, to episode 16 of the Drum Stream with
Everybody.
my guy, Brandon Medellin, and introducing Russell
Hi.
Holzman. Woo, woo,
Hey.
woo. Yeah. What's up, Russell? How you doing?
What's up?
Oh, you're muted, but
Sorry, I have
oh,
the other
you're
stream
muted.
going now. Okay,
Okay,
mute.
heck yeah. Yeah, I think I heard it
All
on your
right.
end.
Yeah, my bad.
All good.
Other glasses. What's up, guys?
What's up, man? Do you ever get with those other glasses on? Do you ever get mistaken for Neo
For Neo?
from the Matrix?
Oh no.
You get
um,
mad
I get
Keanu
mistaken
vibes.
for I get mistaken for John Lennon all the time.
Oh, that's a better mistake.
I went
Yeah.
to school with Keanu Reeves' godson.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yo, what is he like?
He's an artist. He actually goes to school in Chicago. He's cool. He's a really cool kid. I found out because I went to LA when I was young on a trip with my mom, and when I came back at the airport, he was there and he was in my science class. I was like, "What are you doing in Los Angeles?" And he told me his dad was in Bill and Ted.
Wow. And you're just
Yeah.
like he's just like flexing that, or he's just like,
No, no, he's not. He doesn't really talk about that,
yeah,
but
we try not to talk about that stuff.
yeah, he's.
Well,
I mean, he talks about it if you ask, but I don't know. It was funny. It was
That's
crazy.
funny.
well,
He's
hey,
such a
Russell.
he's a living, breathing meme these days, Keanu.
Yeah.
Yeah, that short guy meme will never die, I don't think. Russell, what's good, man? How are you doing? What's up in the Bronx?
I'm good, man. The Bronx is good. The weather is finally into spring. In New York, it's always like we get 8 months of hard winter, and then just like boom, we're into the heat.
Is it
Uh,
pretty humid?
no, so we're still kind of in the end of the transition phase, but
Oh, so
yeah,
it's just beautiful.
yeah, it's nice. And I'm just at my home studio as I have been for the past 14 months or however, and just making stuff, cooking stuff up.
Yeah, you kind of
Um,
look like you're in a spaceship. Tell me about your drapes.
yeah, this is, well, I am in a spaceship actually,
Okay,
so
I knew it.
uh,
I knew it.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, what's up, Gage? And heck yeah, man. I love the reflective stuff. I bet because you got kind of you set up your own vibe with the lights in there too.
Yes, I have some Christmas lights and I have some LED light strips,
That's what's up.
and it's cool. I have a pretty like modular situation, so I can rearrange things. And
Do your lights pulsate with your music, or do they on their own tiff?
they can. I have one of those LIFX light strips, which uh can like respond to sound.
Are those like the TikTok lights,
I'm not sure.
like the LED like strip light kind of thing?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
the LED light strip thing. They're pretty nice. They
Heck
like
yeah.
you can make them really bright, and
I
it
think
can get some nice soft light to the whole room too.
yeah, I think I
So
have
yeah.
those on my ceiling. They're just not on, which is
And
good.
there's a hip app where you can actually program like down to like the millisecond how fast you want the lights to change and stuff.
Whoa,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
whoa, that's cool. What
Hmm.
about you, Brandon? How's Austin?
Austin's great, man. Austin's crazy right now. I don't know, man. It's been really awesome the past few weeks. Just been doing shows again. Things are opening up. Everyone's getting vaccinated. Things are slowly moving along.
Have
So,
you gotten vaccinated yet?
no, I haven't gotten vaccinated yet, but all my friends have. I haven't had time, but so I've been so wrapped up, but I'm trying to get it soon.
Cool. Is it easy
Probably,
out there, or is it like still kind of like red tape?
no, it's super easy. I'm just like on some like I can't. I'm not. I'm like grinding like so hard. It's like bad. I need to make time to do it.
Yeah, dude, make that time. Spend that
Yeah,
hour. Get that poke, baby.
yeah. But no, everyone can get it now, so it's chill.
That's killing. Not literally, though. You
It's saving.
know. What about you, Russell? Are you vaccinated out there?
I am vaccinated. Yes, I got
Fully?
my. I'm fully. Yep, I hit the 2 week mark yesterday since my
Oh,
second Moderna shot.
baby.
Um,
The
which was
Moderna.
it was a mofo. the Moderna-itis the next day was intense,
Did
but
it hit you? Did it hit you hard?
it hit me really hard. Yeah,
Man,
but
they say like if it hits you hard on that second shot, it means you have a great immune system. Someone told me that, and I'm like, well, okay, because there's people that like didn't get sick, and then I'm like, okay, they have shitty immune systems. Because I have a great immune system. Because I felt horrible.
I've heard the opposite. I thought that like because you felt bad, that means that it's introducing all this new stuff. Whereas if you don't feel anything, then you already have all the antibodies.
Right.
Go.
I think
So
either way, I hope you're safe. Hope we're safe out here.
yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. Well, very cool, man. So let's uh let's just keep on chatting here. I'm curious to know, you know, Russell, you got a lot of gear. What's something you can show us that you can just pick up? That's one of your favorite pieces of
Oh,
gear back there.
okay. Yeah, I have. Okay, this is. Oh, I gotta unplug stuff. uh, I'm at my desk right now. This is my one of my favorite items. You might have seen some of my videos. The analog heat.
Ooh, no, tell me about this. That's like
Uh,
the third of the trio there, right?
yeah, yeah. It's a analog sound processor box that just gives a nice analog flavor to anything, and it's got LFOs and envelopes, and you can really craft really interesting sounds with it.
Wow.
But honestly, where I really feel like I get my money's worth is in the mixing process, and you can it has inputs obviously, but with the third-party plugin via USB, you can put it on any software synth or live drums or anything you want. It's kind of my secret weapon in the
Wow.
mixing process.
Dang, analog heat. Don't sleep on the analog heat, y'all.
Don't sleep, and people I feel like are sleeping on it, so
Well,
don't
keep
sleep on
sleeping, y'all, because we don't want to give away all our secrets today.
it. Right.
Um, you know, I'll show you my cool little thing. I've been rocking this dude. He's also from New York. He goes by the name Dig Dug DIY,
Wow.
and he makes these little cool little software or his little piece of electronics.
Oh my God.
Um, but what this is it's a it's called scales. So it has all your modes: Aeolian, Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixed Lydian, Locrian, melodic minor, harmonic minor, Hungarian scales, Persian scales, chromatic scale, and then you can
Wow.
make like any of them. Like obviously you want a root, blah blah blah, and
That's cool.
it's it can be plugged into anything that accepts MIDI. So I've been plugging it into any like polysynth.
Oh, so it's kind of like a controller.
Yes. Yeah, and
That's
I've also been using it for like to do drums with because I don't know because I guess because keyboard keys feel good. When
they
they're
do.
they're really
That's
responsive. The velocity is always consistent because you only have one.
right.
And
Yeah.
yeah, plugging it into synths has been really fun. And when it's kind of like pressing the scale button on an Ableton Push or something in a way,
Right.
but
Right.
it's a little more portable than a push.
Yeah. I like that. I like how that like people complain like the dig attack is not velocity sensitive,
Mm,
but I actually don't mind that because then everything is perfect and then you can adjust parameter lock, add LFOs to add variation later. But like I don't
sure,
mind consistency.
sure. I guess at the end of the day, it's just about like, do you play musically or do you add musicality later? And you got to see the finished product there. Whereas some
True.
people want it right out the box, and they're impatient. Those bastards. What about you, Brandon? You got any tech on you, dude? You're in Austin. Tech
Shit.
Yeah.
tech king.
Man, in all reality, right now, I'm trying to look. I'm like, I mean, no, I got all the tech stuff are my friends. I'm usually just drumming. I'm not too hard into the tech. I mean, I want to get my own like synths, but I mean, we have a Nords here. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm letting y'all
You're not
down.
letting us down, dude. You're analog boy over there. That's what's up.
I am analog though. I do like analog
Yo, let
for
me see
sure.
that. Let me see your hand tat.
Oh,
Ooh,
Oh,
ooh,
nice.
bro, that is so sick. Are you getting love from it, or are people?
no, people like it.
I think it's sick, man. It's like a
I
big.
think it's funny. I think it's funny, but people like it. People think it looks cool. I'm like, oh. I just got it because like just to have the reminder every day that that's what I'm about. That's how I function. That's how my life is. A whole big improv, uh,
That's
a
deep.
whole lineage of improvised moments. That's what my life is.
Right.
That's beautiful, man.
Well, even yeah, that's what they say. Like, uh, improvisation is composition fast, and composition is improvisation slow.
Yeah,
So
for
it's
sure.
it's all improv.
Yeah.
I need to get a gong sound because that was deep, y'all.
Ding.
Gong.
There you go.
One day. I have one more space on my stream deck here, so gong next week, you guys. Gong next week.
Wait, I have a little one nearby.
Oh, can you ring it
I
for
can
us?
grab. Yeah, I'll be right back.
Okay. We'll give you a drum roll eventually.
Too early, Matt.
Sorry, I just wanted to time it right. Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Perfect. Nailed it. That's what's up. That's what's up. The soundboard's working this week. It's cranking. The gong is here. I've seen you put that on your floor tom.
Yeah, I have a couple little things like that. I have a couple crotales and stuff.
Those are the
Yeah.
bowed symbols, right? The crotales.
Um, actually, there's actually no logo on the one I ended up with, so I have
Okay.
no idea. This is a little dream gong, though. I think someone gave this to me
Heck yeah.
along the way.
I think those are called like chow gongs. There's like
Yeah.
there's different gongs for everything, but I know Nate Wood uses those a lot because they make the boom boom. They have like a springy sound when you throw it on the tom.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice little sustain to them, too.
Yeah. Oh man, we could talk about gongs all day, you guys. But I think it's probably best that we get to the drum news. All right, y'all, drum news. Welcome.
Right.
Welcome. Okay, let me bring it up here. So guys, the drum news wasn't boring this week, but it wasn't as cool as last week. If you were with us last week, we talked about a very interesting funeral setup, but you might have to go back and watch that. Huge Drumstream drum news is that our whole website, thedrumstream.com, is updated with all of our past 15 episodes. You can go back and check out our talk with Nate Smith, the 8020 drummer, Tim Bow from Keno, Carter, or wait, not Carter, Carson. The Carson is One Up Drum Vids and many more. All those are updated, and they're also on our YouTube channel, the Drum Stream. Everything, the Drum Stream. You guys check it out. This is a big day, May 7th. Last week was Bill Kurtzman's 75th birthday. Happy birthday, Bill! And he was the drummer for the Grateful Dead, and he was the original drummer for the Warlocks. Yeah. Clap for Bill because I watched the whole Amazon Grateful Dead documentary. It's like a 10-part series without listening to the Dead first. So now I listen to the Dead every now and then, and I have a deeper connection to the band now. If you guys have Amazon Prime and support that fucker Jeff, go watch that Amazon hot take on the Grateful Dead. That's called pretty sure it's called One Long Trip. Anyway, happy birthday to Bill. 75 years strong. Still drumming. He was one of two drummers alongside Mickey Hart. This was interesting. Carter McLean put out a new stick. I don't know if you guys are fans of Carter, but he's a great drummer that hopefully will be on the stream one day out in New York City. and he has a new stick on ProMark, and it looks a lot like the Erskine Ride Stick, but I thought it looked a little shorter. So, if anyone's into ProMark, go check that out. You guys ever play ProMark sticks?
I used to a lot when I was younger.
Yeah, Russell.
Yeah, actually, I one of my old bands, we did a commercial for Diodario. I don't think the footage ever got used, but as payment, they sent us a bunch of cables and sticks. So I had got a whole box of ProMark Bill Bruford signature sticks.
Cool. Did you get to
Um,
pick those?
I sent them like my size preferences, and they just I guess they had a bunch of those laying around, which were close enough.
Okay,
But yeah, that got me like a year of sticks.
that's what's up.
So yeah.
Heck yeah. I think I had a bad relationship with ProMark sticks because when I got them early, they just always splintered on me, and like I would get splinters in my hands, like from holding them, not from like playing them, which I thought was
That's no
weird.
good.
So yeah, I'm a Regal tip dude, so I'm gonna keep with Regal, keep it Regal as they say. Um, okay, next on the list is maybe Brandon, you can talk more about this, but Sarah Gurtu, another really awesome drummer. She played Zildjian live last year. Switched to Istanbul over um, alleged clap stack hypocrisy versus Zildjian. We want to, as much as we can on the drum stream, support black creators, and that's just what Sarah is doing by going to Istanbul and uh, retrieving her rightful clap stack. Is that true,
Yes.
Brandon?
Yes, it is. I think I don't
Yes,
know
sir.
how the deal with the Zildjian got cut. I don't know if there was a real deal, if that was just her preference of symbols, but it seemed like it was an overnight thing. It was pretty intense switch. I don't know. Pretty crazy. My opinion. Just to
I
switch.
didn't see any crazy announcement or anything. I just saw that
No,
she's.
it was like overnight. There
It
was
was like
no
Sarah
like,
Gutu plays Istanbul.
yeah, there that was it. There was like the post, her
Right.
playing, and there was no like set up for that. There was no announcement. It was just
Mm-hmm.
overnight. So that's really weird and kind of interesting just to see someone with that kind of pull an audience on the internet just kind of pull a move like I mean it's justified. I mean I'm glad she did it, but
Sure.
like I said, like maybe I don't know if it was planned or was just kind of like what, this just feels right. I have to do it kind of thing. I don't know. And just interesting to see.
I
Um,
hope it's the latter,
Hope
cause
it doesn't give her trouble in the long run. I don't
sure.
think it will though.
Yeah. I think
But there's another thing too. I just saw him on Instagram. Roni Caspi.
yeah.
She's like in Israel right now, like, and they're like fighting already. There's like, I don't know. I saw like they're like cracking. Um, what's it called when they like when the military sends like a spark into the
Flares.
yeah, they're like yeah, she's like hiding under a bridge and they're like shooting flares and shit because of like Palestine and Israel right now.
It's a pretty big
Oh,
controversy out there. Um I sent a little text to my friends in Israel today and haven't heard back, so I'm pretty sure it's kind of late there, or it might be very early.
yeah, it's night. It's like I think yeah,
I
it's
think it's
nighttime.
we're gonna have Ben Alon on next week, who's from Israel. He calls himself the One Man Tribe. Very deep into Senegalese drumming. He also made up that thing called the Shake Hat. I don't know if you guys have gotten an ad for that, but I wouldn't be surprised if you did. Um, so yeah, we'll definitely get the hot take on Israel, Palestine next week. I'm sure. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a really complicated, long controversy, and uh, it, it warrants a really long discussion before, or you can like really feel informed and be able to discuss it. At least for me.
Yeah, no, there's it's very deep rooted. It's like
Yeah,
that whole thing's been going on for thousands of years.
yeah,
yeah. Well, big, uh, thoughts and prayers. Unfortunately, is all we can give at this moment to
right.
everyone in that area dealing with 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 turmoil. Hopefully, it gets better. Um, to lighter things. Last part of the drum news. Last two things. Brandon, can you hear me loud and clear? Is coming to LA this month,
Yeah.
the end of the
Yeah.
month. Uh, there is a tentative, might be a tentative May 29th hang coming hat where Brandon and I might be playing on the same bill. That is possible if you're here. That's gonna be. Hey, we got another follower. Thanks, y'all. That should be very fun. Uh, Maybe if you're in the chat, let me know if you'd rather see a Ambira set or a pocket operator set, because I think Ambira set would be kind of tighter, but you gotta really like listen and be into it. And if I'm like, I don't know, what do you think? What do you think, Brandon?
What's an Ambira?
What's an Ambira? Here I'll get one. Ambira, yeah, give me a sec.
I think it's an acoustic instrument, right?
I have no idea. Matt be educating me with
Seen the
these
Ambira before?
with these
Maybe.
knickknacks. Oh yeah, that. Yeah, that.
So like, you know what's up with the Ambira? It's gotta be like. Really delicate, delicate sound. So like, if we're trying to get all crazy at the Minaret show, like, I'm not sure if that's the vibe, but could be the vibe. Could be like a completely different vibe than whatever happens here. Oh, I'm stuck.
What if you can you put a pickup on the Ambira?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like all trying to listen and take it off at the same time. Yeah, I'll put a pickup on it, and I kind of run it through some effects. I got the Canyon pedal here that I like to use.
Nice.
And I don't know, maybe I'll run a little synthy drone and go for it. Who knows? Or I'll just do the pocket operator set, which that's like way easier. I can just press play and dance.
Do you run that thing through any effects?
Yeah, I have. I was talking about Dig Dug DIY. I have some of these same little modules.
Oh damn.
And this is like a lo-fi compressor and a freeze sample, and then I have another like delay, which is kind of tight, but I'll just use the Canyon for the delay.
Can you show me where you connect it?
Yeah, it has an in and out
Oh, okay.
right here, and I just feed this to a mixer. You can also string the pocket operators up. I like to work with at least two, for like some melodic content in the drum, because this one's only drum content, the rhythm. But yeah, dude, pocket operator sets just as easy, but you kind of have to keep going. To go straight for a half an hour of pocket operator might be a little overwhelming. 30 minutes of 80 BPM or 120 BPM could, I mean, people do it every night, I guess, but it's gotta be slapping.
Yes.
Yeah. And lastly, about the drum news, y'all. Russell, you mentioned that you might have some shows coming up in the summer with your band Broken Love.
Yes,
Some
but
festivals.
as I mentioned that to you, I went to the email and I saw the subject line, "Do not announce."
Hey, we didn't say nothing, right?
Nothing.
Say nothing. That was a joke, you guys. That was a joke.
Yes.
That was a complete joke. We didn't say anything there. That was just
Yes.
everyone's. They still like it over here. Well, with that said, that's the drum news, everybody. Welcome, Russell, to the podcast,
Thank you.
to the drum stream, to the live fun show that we have cultivated here. Episode 16. I can't believe it. We've been going 16 weeks strong. Can you believe that, bro? It's been longer than that, but I've just been keeping count for 16. So it's
no, it's really been like I think like
maybe
20,
maybe
19,
20
19 or 20
ish. It's been a crazy fun journey, but I'm glad that we're here and still able to bring the drum community together every week for a nice, interesting discussion.
Yes, yeah, and as I was saying before, like the talking drums, watching videos, listening to stuff, talking about it. Like that's literally my favorite thing to do. So I'm happy to be here, and let's get it.
Yeah,
As they
and
say.
if you're here and you have any questions for Russell, make sure you throw them in the chat. I see we have another TV viewer. My favorite name, Booger Puncher 2013. That is a good person. We'll get more people in here. Oh, some boogers are here. Um, and let's just get it started. So, Russell, I would love to know, uh, how did you start with music? What was your first memory of being a musician or coming
Sure.
into
Yeah.
music?
I mean, I uh, I was pretty fortunate actually. Both of my parents are musicians.
What do they do?
So my dad is a keyboard player, and my mom plays guitar, and they're both professional musicians. That's what they do. And so I was around music my whole life, and they got me a bunch of toy instruments when I was very young, and I just kind of gravitated towards the drums, and I stuck with it ever since.
That's really interesting. Your parents are
Yeah,
both musicians. And are you originally from the Bronx, or where are you originally from? Or
yeah. I was actually born in the East Village,
very
and
cool.
then we moved up to the Bronx when I was 2 years old, and yeah, I went to school up here. I went to high school in the city. I went to LaGuardia, and then I went to New England Conservatory for jazz drums
NEC, cool.
for college.
And
Yeah, and now I'm back in town. Yeah,
yeah, how did I mean? Okay, this is interesting because my dad's also a musician, but my mom is like a commercial florist, so artistic in a way. Um, but with
yeah,
both parents being musicians, that has to be a bit. I mean, some people might see that as like, man, you kind of have to be a musician or else. Like, was there any pressure for you to become a musician, or did it just fall in? This is like the family biz kind of deal.
yeah. I know that's the case. I have other friends where like both their parents are artists in some fashion, and they just want to like do anything but that.
Yeah.
Um, but that wasn't the case for me. I mean, I loved it, right from the start. I used to like set up my toy drums when I was like 3 years old in front of the television and watch some like live music VHS tapes and like count off with like I used to do it with like the Brecker Brothers, and I would count off with Dennis Chambers and be like one, two,
No way.
1, 2, 3,
That's
and then just go
funny.
just like not with the music at all, but I just wanted to be a part of that band in
Totally.
my own mind. Um, so yeah, and I used to like I would go and like hang out at sound checks with my dad when I was very young, and um, my first performance was in the like elementary school talent show when I
Wow.
was like maybe 7 or 8, and we played like a Beatles song, and
Was it with your dad
I
and
it
your
was
mom?
like oh no, this was with like other kids,
Okay.
but I was the only one like actually playing an instrument. They were literally like air guitaring, like blow up guitars, like balloon guitars,
Yeah, I feel
along
that.
with the track. Um, so yeah, it's I don't my earliest memory is after when I actually started playing. I'm sure. So
Yeah. What I'm curious I'm still curious about your parents. So
yeah,
they said they grew up playing professionally. So did they play on their own, or did they play with groups that we might know about, or because being
yeah.
a
Well,
musician in
my
New York
dad,
City ain't
my
no easy thing.
no, no. Well, I mean, my dad's from California, grew up in New York and California, kind of, and he's done quite a bit of stuff. He played in Miles Davis's band back
What?
in the late '80s,
What?
and yeah, he
Wow.
played like keyboard in like his later Electric period, um,
Dang.
and he's also played with like Wayne Shorter and
Wow,
Grover
man.
Washington, like a lot of the greats.
What's your dad's name?
Um, Adam Holzman, and he plays with Steven Wilson now from the band Porcupine Tree. Not sure if you've
I'm not sure. I don't
ever
know
seen
that one.
Offset
That's
before.
sick, man. Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
And your
It's
mom?
crazy.
What'd she do?
she's a guitar player, and she's played with a lot of great people as well. She was in like Jack McDuff's band, like famous organ player, jazz fusion
Uh huh.
guitarist. She was, and she also played an SNL band for a while, and she has her own band too. And yeah, so
Wow. Wow.
uh,
That's awesome, man. I can't believe that. That's incredible.
I kind of like take it for granted sometimes, but then like having conversations like this reminds me of how lucky I was.
Yeah. Um, freaking hey, dude. That's incredible. Um, we have a picture here of your first drum set.
Oh
Uh,
God. Mm.
man, I love the three up, one down scenario. And the rap on this is like all time. But I would love to point out the flat bass stands though. This is definitely an upgrade right here.
Yes. You gotta
Tell us a
pay
little
extra
bit
for
about
that.
this drum kit. Is it backwards? No.
It might be. I know that there's tin foil on a couple of those toms there instead of drum heads.
Oh, is it because you broke them?
I probably. I don't know. I
Wow.
mean,
This is like, this is a baller picture though. This has to be like mid smash right here.
yeah,
This
that
isn't
was.
posed for the camera picture right here.
Oh no, no. It was. I think that's pretty candid. I mean, we did set up outside for the photo, granted, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was age 3, I believe.
Wow. Man, I
So
love the kit though. Like, I just like, I wish, you don't still have that kit, do you?
I don't.
Oh, man. Bummer.
Yeah.
That
I
would be
do
so
have
cool.
my second kit, which was my real first drum set. I got it like age 7.
Oh, what was that?
Good old Rockwood. Remember Rockwood?
Man, you gotta enlighten me on Rockwood. I'd never heard of that in my life.
I don't gotta enlighten you on Rockwood. It's like super entry level, like kiddie drums,
Okay,
but at least they were real drums that like could actually get a real drum head attached to it.
that is good.
Uh,
I like that.
but
Wow.
yeah,
So let me get my notes back up here. I'm perusing your Instagram page. Now, with with this knowledge that you have very awesome parents, and going to sound checks, how did that influence you to become, I mean, like, would you, how can I say this, your influences might your first some of your first influences might have been your parents, but who else did they introduce you to, or have you been influenced by, growing up?
um, I mean, like a lot of like exterior influences came through them. I mean, like my dad made me like a little cassette tape of my favorite Beatles songs, and I would listen to those all the time. Um, I mean, I know it's kind of cliche for some, a first favorite band to be the Beatles, but
What's your favorite Beatles record?
oh man, the White Album has recently. I've been more into the White Album. Just like
Interesting. Okay, cool.
the, the songs are just so great,
Yeah.
and but yeah, so the Beatles and like other jazz fusion stuff that they played around the house um, was a big influence on me. And yeah, I mean, then when I got a little older, my favorite band was Linkin Park. Like I just loved Linkin Park, and I love it. And I actually got had like a broken Walkman
Yeah.
with like some scratched up CD, and I would like scratch along with the wiki like rap part, and I would be like, there's a memory I have. I was on the plane once listening to Linkin Park in one Walkman, and then scratching along in my fake Walkman, like pretending that I was part of the band.
Man, as soon as people like started having those type of DJs in their bands, like, I
uh,
remember I had a buddy that had two turntables, and it was probably the only dude I knew that had like records and stuff like that. And I showed him that, and he's like, "Dude, I can't do that. Like, what do you mean? I just play music." And I'm like, I was so mad at him because I was like, "Man, like, I just want you to be in my band so bad." And I
yeah,
didn't have a band, but I was starting a band at that point, and I needed to be now have a DJ in that band because,
right.
yeah, like, well, if you liked Linkin Park, maybe you liked POD too.
The Pick of Destiny.
No.
I know POD. I know what you're talking about, Matt. I know.
No, there's this band called POD. They were kind of big in that, but they also had a DJ. They're from San Diego, which is where I grew up. But they were like MTV big, like
Oh wow.
um, and maybe I'm dating myself here about the Medellin collection needs a turntablist. No cap.
Who the fuck said that shit?
Wes Leslie.
God damn it.
Wesley, dude.
So it's like POD, it's like Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit,
Limp
Kind of
Bizkit,
the
yeah.
rap rock crew, dude.
But
Corn, I think here and there. Not really. Corn didn't have it, but they imitated it with the bass scratching.
yeah,
And then
exactly.
I used to like Linkin Park when I was a kid. My dad had all those records, and then my dad was like a fanatic on the fucking Linkin Park Jay Z record. You remember that
Oh, I
shit?
love that record. Yeah.
I got 99 problems with a bitch ain't one. That was always like the best line.
what was the big Linkin Park record that had the dude the something theory, right?
Hybrid Theory.
Hybrid Theory. I almost said Tribal Theory, but I think that's a reggae band.
Yeah, and actually, it was their second record that I really got into, Meteora.
Okay.
Like I remember, my aunt like sent me the CD and listening to it in my room when I was like 9 years old, just being like, yes.
Heck yeah,
love,
man. I feel like a
love
lot
the
of
rock.
people. I think a lot of people came from this tree of like where you could like sign up and get like 20 records for a penny. Like in this era, like you would like look at this magazine of CDs from like their list. I'm like looking at my camera right here. And you could yeah, it was almost kind of like a scam that you paid a subscription service and you'd get like a bunch of CDs a month. My wife's dad did the same thing, and that's how she got into so many different. Sorry. Yeah, clap for my wife. But that's how she got into a bunch of different music in that sense. Because her dad just like ordered like 20 CDs a month. Like, okay, I'm gonna pay a penny for my subscription service. Pretty cool.
Pretty good deal.
Yeah. There's a difference between a good deal and a heck of a deal. And that's a heck of a
Right.
deal.
Sure is.
That's my dad's joke, you guys.
That's a heck of a deal.
Heck of a deal, y'all. Well, cool. So you mentioned that you got to go to NEC. Kind of maybe tell me about that and who were some of your teachers and something
Sure.
that you
Yeah.
learned from NEC.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, I'll like in high school, I played in various bands in middle school and high school, and in high school, I really got into jazz, partly because that's kind of the only way to like play drum set in college, in a serious fashion,
Uh-huh.
is to do a jazz program. Um, and like, so I played in the big bands in high school, and I also played in some of the like Broadway shows they did, like we did Hairspray and some other stuff, which was actually like people kind of, I mean, myself included, I used to kind of like snark at Broadway and like musical theater stuff, but like some of that music is actually like pretty slapping.
Sure.
Like in Hairspray and stuff specifically, like the arrangements are really great, and like if you get them tight, it's really really fun to play. Um, but yeah, so I got really into jazz, uh, partly for that reason, but also I just started getting into it like straight ahead. Jazz drumming is like such an art form, and I sent you some stuff we can listen later, but like that kind that's it's like untouchable, some of those recordings, and like I like a secret that I've heard people say is all the best rock drummers know how to play jazz.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, that's always been true.
yeah,
Or they come from a jazz background. It's just you can't argue with that, with the technique and the discipline in that
It's
sense to be.
absolutely.
because they have good technique and finesse, but they could throw it back. They could throw it back when they need to.
Exactly.
I've heard it's kind of funny, like jazz drummers don't have loud chops though, but I kind of think that's a bit of a cap too.
You ever seen Mike Mitchell play? That motherfucker
Bro,
plays
I mean, yeah, like Nate Wood's the same way, like loud chops, like
yeah,
it can happen. I mean,
dynamic too. They can mash. Like they'll mash when it's time, but
yeah,
can finesse the shit out of a kid too,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is
I mean, I did a math rock audition last week, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, and I came into the audition, and the first thing they said to me was like, "Man, thank you for playing like loud, because all
Hmm.
we've had was jazz drummers. They don't, and we always had to tell them to play louder." And I'm like, "Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up."
Right.
So, um,
Yeah, I feel like kind of where I came from is you learn how to play like real rock drums first, and
mhm,
then you do jazz. Whereas if you do the other way around, your jazz playing, you kind of get used to always having to play soft because like every jazz musician hates a like unnecessarily loud
yeah,
drummer.
yeah,
So I feel like it's better to have that in the can, and then you learn how to play soft rather than the other way around.
mhm,
Also, always having a backbeat when you play jazz, like, or always understanding where the backbeat is
Right.
good too. Because like I've
Totally.
seen a lot of jazz drummers who study more jazz than like anything that's like more modern, and
Mhm.
like they don't have a backbeat when they play a simple groove. You want the best of both worlds when it comes to that, because you want finesse and power and good timekeeping.
Totally.
absolutely. I
Yeah.
think, um, and you bring up a good point about kind of something that I feel like we skipped over was like what bands did you play in high school and middle school, like before jazz, as you said, like it's coming from rock to jazz is maybe a little easier step than coming from jazz to rock. It's kind of like playing from like those kids you meet in drumline that only play snare drum and then try to get on the drum kit and like they just choke, or like
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, coming from drum set to drum line is a lot easier than coming from drum line to drum set. So like, so what were some of the formidable years of drumming that brought you to this point? Maybe some
Yeah,
funny
yeah.
bands.
Well, I used to just, I mean, like what is really a band in when you're 12 years old? It's just like your friends that you play at one of their houses or at your house.
Yeah,
My first band was with two friends from the neighborhood. We were called Triple Audio
that's what's up. That's a sick band name.
because there was three of us, and hence,
Don't give away the secret, Russell.
yeah, exactly. Uh, and then yeah, and then we played like kind of the middle school fair and stuff like that a little later on,
Mhm.
and and then in high school I played in some uh several different bands. I mean, like a couple like pop punk bands. I was pretty into like the scene.
Yeah,
If you guys remember, like
totally.
08, 09, like Warp Tour,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
pop punk metalcore. Like I loved that shit. I went to Warp Tour and like I was wearing like Drop Dead T-shirts and I was listening to like Bring Me the Horizon and Attack Attack and
You
uh
like set your goals and like 4 years strong and like
yeah, I like For Your Strong. I actually saw Set Your Goals play with A Day to Remember back
sure.
in like 2011 or something.
I
You're
I
you're
worked
into
I Warped Tour.
No, in the city, like at
Okay,
Nokia Theater or something.
very tight.
crabcore,
Crabcore.
What's that?
crabcore.
Oh yeah, Crabcore.
Yeah.
That's what taught me how to play jazz. Is Crabcore.
It's all on the knees.
Yeah, I know. Do you guys follow that page, Catatonic Youths, on Instagram?
Gosh,
What
I
is that?
I feel like I
No.
have. I've seen people post from that,
Oh,
like
dude,
repost.
it's amazing. It's all like the cringiest music videos on the internet. Like I
I've
don't know
seen this
how.
one. Yeah, I've seen this joint. I've seen this
It's
page.
like an
Yeah.
offset of band
Amazing.
memes, right?
Yeah, but it's like people that are serious,
Right,
seriously
right.
posting. But it's just so cringy. But it hurts me now because I see the shit I was listening to in high school now being posted on like this cringe page, and it's like, oh,
Oh,
was I the only one that was listening to Attack Attack back in the day? I guess so.
hey, like I don't know. I was in a ska. I mean, were you in a ska band?
It's not in a ska band,
Ah, well,
but we did. We had
good.
like a kind of a New Orleansy marching band stuff that we would play in the high school.
That's what's up, and that's killing.
um, but yeah,
Okay,
um,
so what about? I'm curious to know. Like, let's go back in the let's time travel. Let's go back to college
sure.
here. Who were some of your teachers?
Right, yeah. So I took drum lessons like off and on, not very much honestly in like middle school and high school, and then I had to like kind of cram to learn how to like read big band charts and stuff for my college auditions.
Mm-hmm.
So I was taking lessons with a guy named Jeff Hirschfield, and it was just like really focused, like learning how to read, like kind of preparing for an audition.
Okay.
Um, and then once I got to NEC, I got this. They have an amazing faculty there, which is part of the reason why I chose to go there. And so I studied with Billy Hart for
Sick.
3 years,
Sick.
um, who's played in like Herbie Hancock's band and
Mm-hmm.
uh, like so many other Miles. Like he's been on the scene. Like I actually talked to him recently, and he was like uh he played like a live stream show from the Village Vanguard
Okay.
recently, and he was like, yeah, my first gig at the Vanguard was 1961. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
That's insane. He was probably
Not
like
when he first went there.
20s or something.
His first gig was 1961. So that was amazing. I had a long kind of mentorship with him, and he's like such a great soul, and like gave me a bunch of stuff. He wanted to talk about like practice routines and stuff like that. Like he's very much just kind of an overall vibe kind of guy. And I remember early on he would like uh, really get on the case if he didn't think you were working hard enough,
Mm-hmm.
and be like, I don't know what you're doing with your time, but you clearly are not working on this music.
Yeah.
And like be like, I guess you thought something else was more important. And I'd be like, freshman year, like, damn.
Kind of like a crack the whip teacher in a way, but like you seem to have the head that can like take that. Some people like cripple under that, but like some people like the fire under their butt.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's the way he did it, I guess, was good, because there's some things where it's like, damn, now I just feel like shit. But the way he phrased it was like, okay, wow, I really got to get to work,
Yeah.
which is what you want.
Well,
So,
man, and you have, I love your drumming, man. I looked back at some of your older, it must have been like you had much shorter hair then, and it was like high school audition material with Adam O'Farrell.
oh yeah. Oh, oh man.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and but I mean, regardless of whatever you think about it, like I know for that time and the age you guys were at, you guys were sounding really good, even then.
Thanks, man.
So, props to that. Um,
Thank
so
you.
what about I'm curious because you're also a composer, you're a multi instrumentalist with that. Did you have any other teachers at NUC that may have influenced kind of how you're thinking about music right now?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, I it's that's a tough question, because I feel like I learned so much, and those years were like so formative for me, that I learned like different things from different people. But with regard to composition, like honestly, I feel like I learned just as much hanging out with friends in the dorm and listening to music,
Mm-hmm.
and like talking about what's going on here, and like why, why is this cool, why is that cool, why is he a bad mf'er, and and just really getting into that vibe, and sharing knowledge, sharing stories. So that was really great. And like, yeah, I mean, the thing I loved about NEC was that you kind of got the best of both worlds. Like I know there are places like, I also applied to like Manhattan School of Music, and I had friends that went to Juilliard jazz, and like those places are great, and it's like really high level, but they don't have that same like kind of open-minded creativity
Mm.
that whereas like there are other places like Berkeley or like the New School, where they have like, they're very open-minded, but the quality and the standards are can be a bit mixed. But NEC was really the best of both worlds, because like you got those, like everyone was super hardworking, and like super open minded, and also like kind of kicking each other in the ass to be even more creative and try to innovate, and not just like stick to the books. Um, so yeah, I think that definitely helped uh, with regard to composition and all that stuff. And like I know like some of my friends give me shit for like getting a degree in jazz, and it's like, it's possible to learn something from one subject and apply it to another subject.
Sure.
So that's where I'm at.
I love it.
Yeah.
Were you gonna say something, Brandon? I'm sorry.
No, I'm just listening. I just agree with what Russell was saying.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting thing too because like I um I also study with Miguel Zenon, who
Hmm.
is an amazing saxophone player and like just ridiculous, like can play any horn in any key, sight read anything, transpose anything on the spot, no mistakes. But the reason why I wanted to study with him is because his work ethic is just so ridiculous. Like he's always composing this commission and like literally always practicing. Like that's what those guys did. Like John Coltrane, he would get off stage, go to a hotel room and practice like right after the gig. Like they're just always super on. And so I wanted to like absorb some of that, and I feel like I did to some extent, especially with regard to how he works, which is like he tries to do a little bit of everything every day. And that's kind of what's kept me going through this quarantine too. It's like, okay, I'm going to practice drums for this amount of time. I'm going to sit down and compose for this amount of time. You know, I'm not going to like kill myself in any one thing, just like really try to hit all these different things every day. And so you move the needle slowly. And after like weeks and months of that, it starts to add up to some real results.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm thankful that I was able to absorb.
Yeah, I think this is you kind of leading me to my next question here. Like, what is it that you've been practicing? I love the I had a I had the really like how do I say I had the had enough free time at one point in my life to go to New York for a whole month, and I got to live with my buddy in Brooklyn and who was attending the new school at that point. So I got to crash all his classes and go
Cool.
check out everything. And I got to listen to a class with drummer Amir Zeev, who is
Oh yeah.
interesting cat.
Yeah,
Charged way
he's
too
a friend of my folks actually.
very cool.
Yeah.
And Amir talked kind of similarly about practicing routine because a lot of it seems like it was an all drum set student class. I'm not sure, but I'm almost positive it was like a drum set class, and he was talking about like practicing and stuff, and everyone was like he was talking about two things like when should you practice and also when should you listen back to what you just recorded. So speaking to the fact of when he was if you record your performance, people were like, should you wait a day and listen back? And he's like, no, you should listen to it like right after you're done because you're the most fresh in that moment to be able to see and hear what you were doing and listen to those ideas and like evaluate them. Were they good or bad, or what did you learn from that thing? So obviously that was a good thing to take away. But he also talked about like when's the best time to practice? Like right after your gig because you're not cold, you're warm as hell.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, yeah, what a great time to like practice your singles or practice your doubles or whatever. Like, even if it's just simple stuff like that, like you're not gonna pull anything because you would have by then, you know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean he's totally right. I just like I don't know. After I'm done playing a show, I the last thing I want to do is go practice paradiddles. Like
Right.
I want to hang, I want to talk to people, I want to like, decompress a little bit. And also I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I mean everybody has a different opinion, but for me at least I prefer if I'm recording something, I prefer to give it some time, like give it, at least a day and then go back and listen with fresh ears rather than
Mm.
like right after the show and like because I don't know if that's a way to get the most clear-eyed kind of look at how you played or what happened.
Yeah, I
I
guess
try to.
his argument was that like you can really you know what you were thinking at that point, and you were playing, and you know what your vocabulary was at that moment. So evaluating it, I guess like critically evaluating it then, and then maybe if you listen to it again later, you can either you might have snubbed it off later.
Right.
I guess it's yeah maybe it's a little hypercritical to think about it right after the gig, but I guess it's a way, and maybe it's something that you can try, but maybe not every time. Because I also too like to record it. It's like when you're in the studio, like something might sound better the next day than it did the day you're listening back
Sure.
to it. So
Yeah, I
I
agree.
I like to listen to it right after if I can. I don't stress it though. And if I listen to it right after, I'm not trying to take it too serious. And then I'll listen to it with fresh ears the
hmm
next day.
hmm
And then maybe I mean because when I record the group, I make sure we all watch it together like we're watching the game. Like like a soccer tape, like so it's like we just examine what we want to do, what we should fix,
And that's
but
cool.
not with a very cold attitude. You know what I'm saying? With a very uplifting. Oh, let's go about it this way. Not like, oh, that's fucking sucks. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
It's like,
You're kind of. I feel like you're
I mean,
almost
we've
like a.
been.
Yeah.
We practice a lot, so I mean, it's not like we're playing shitty ass sets, right? But um, it's nice to hear the set like Dakota. I have a jam of me and Dakota and my Tom 40 Hands, and I hadn't played with Tom in like 8 months, and I hadn't played with Dakota in like over a year,
Yeah.
and I recorded that, and I got high and listened to it as soon as I could because I was like, that was some special shit. But it's different. Sometimes I listen to, just experience the music as if I were in the audience.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes I'm critical. Sometimes I just like to listen to because it's what I like to do. I want to listen to what I played. But
Yeah.
sometimes, I mean, I only get real critical when I know like I was not feeling it. That's it. But I don't know. I wanted to ask y'all, do y'all ever feel like you're not in that moment when you're playing and then you listen back to a set and you're like, damn, I was like way more on it than I felt.
Yeah. And then there's times where the opposite happens,
Yeah.
which is not as much fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Where you're like, that was sick. You listen back and you're like, oh man, that's a bunch of trash.
right. Yeah, I mean, I remember hearing you guys know Brad Meldau, piano player.
Yeah. Yeah. That guy.
Mm-mm.
Um
Wait, for real?
his uh his trio has great trio. Larry Grenadier is the bass player, one of the best upright bass players around, and he was like, he's never listened to any of their albums that they've made, and they've made like dozen albums. He's like, I was in the session, I was there. Like, why do I need to listen to it?
True.
So
Yeah.
that's one way to look at it.
Yeah. I guess it's
Um,
you want to keep that memory of it being good or being bad. But I don't think
right.
Larry plays bad
Yeah.
notes.
No, that's the thing. It's kind of like you don't want to actually follow through on your dreams because that might break the like idyllic vision you have of it in your own mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I feel that.
that perfect picture you have. But now we're getting too deep.
No, we can
Let's
get
go
deep.
back to
We
music.
can go to the Titanic if we want. What up, Ned? I don't know if you know Ned. Ned's also a friend of the show. Ned Hawili. Hawili. Ned's also a New York drummer, Russell. I don't know if you guys know each other, but you should. Ned's a homie.
Yeah. What's up, Ned?
Um,
All right.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
So yeah, maybe I like this idea of you hitting different things, literally, figuratively, throughout your practice
Mm-hmm.
routine. Maybe maybe run us through a typical practice session with you, Russell.
Sure. Yeah, I mean it changes every day at least a little bit. Like I always do the same warm up every day, even when I'm on the road or anything like that. I always do the same like 10-minute just snare warm up, which is just like 60 BPM, quarter notes, eighth notes, triplets, sixteenths, and then 30 seconds in that order, pretty much, and then that's it, and then I'm ready to go. So there's always that, but uh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I remember I also studied with a guy named Bob Moses at NEC, and
Mm-hmm.
he told me that like I need to sit down and just play a 2 hour drum solo every day, just like get it out of my system because I was also in his ensemble and he thought I just played way too much. And but he's really extreme. He's a guy. He claimed that he didn't play anything faster than an eighth note from age like 20 to 40. He didn't play any subdivision faster than an eighth note.
That's a big
So
that's a big ask, big flex there, Bob.
I know it's a big flex because he's like, well, why? Like, why would I have? So he's really extreme, like serving the music,
Sure.
Um, but yeah, I just like I'm my main commitment is just like to the maintenance stuff, like keeping the hands going, And then everything else is just like whatever you're working on in the moment. Like, you know, if like sometimes I'll be working on like a drum and bass cover for a video, or working on some music that I have to learn for another project. um yeah, it totally depends, but I feel like as long as you sit down, do your maintenance stuff, and then just play a little bit, give yourself that like breathing time on the kit, then you know, you're definitely won't be moving backwards
Yeah.
in progress.
Did Bob Moses have the afro back then?
No, he's been bald for a couple decades now, but yeah, he's a legend.
There's
That's
a video that my friend was showing me because my friend was really into really old Bob Moses. This is Bob Moses, right?
Yep. Man,
damn.
Yeah, we were watching this video the
vibes.
other day. That's crazy.
Big pro. 4 a.m. tomorrow, drum and bass. That's the stuff. I think
Oh, that's, I think that's my friend. Hey.
hey friend, welcome to the channel.
Yes.
Um thanks for bringing your friends, Russell. Appreciate that.
Sure.
Man, we got a couple drum and bass heads. Ned's a huge drum and bass guy. Russell, you're a huge drum and bass guy. I watched your 8-minute cover of something yesterday. I went through. If you
Thanks.
haven't checked out Russell's YouTube channel, it's definitely something to check out. I love a couple things about your channel, Russell. That you do this compilation of like every year of drum videos, or like you did like a 2019 compilation, at least from what I
Yeah.
remember. And I love
That
that.
was actually for like the Shure drum competition audition
The
video.
Shure. What's that?
Like Shure microphones.
Oh, okay.
They did a drum competition, so I just threw that together.
Damn,
Uh,
that's cool.
um, so that's what that was. But
Um,
yeah,
yeah.
different stuff on there.
Let me bring it up here. Oh, sorry, my computer. Come on, YouTube.com. Yeah, I'm curious. You know, like everyone kind of has their entry to drum and bass. What was yours?
Uh, Man, you know what? Actually, my very first kind of getting into that music was that band Pendulum. You guys remember Pendulum?
No.
It was like, it's kind of like drum and bassy, kind of like electro rock. I guess it's a little more rock, but they have those fast like do chat do chat do chat, like those kind of drum and bassy grooves in the songs.
Uh huh.
Um, but yeah, one thing I was gonna say though is the playing jazz, like playing up tempo swing, really kind of got my wrists and hands ready for playing drum and bass kind
Sure.
of stuff. I mean, it's like it's a different feel, different groove, but just kind of like a lot of information flying by you. Like playing up tempo swing really helped with that.
Yeah. I do this Terry Lynn thing. Where she like to get a better up tempo feel, she essentially just takes a halftime hip hop groove in her feet and her snare hand, and just think ting tingling 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 kind of thing, and like
Yeah,
you can like really once you keep the hi hat on the fast 2 and 4, um
that's a good exercise.
yeah, and that way it kind of relaxes your mind in a way that because then when you bring the hip hop groove out and go into like normal stuff, your bass drum's kind of already doing that, you know, and like
Right.
are putting it. It's like another person told me to do like, you know, Ted Reed syncopation halftime,
Oh yeah.
and
Yep. Page 38.
that's all you need,
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
all you need.
You know, sometimes I scan through that book though. I'm like, man, there's such good shit in here. Like,
Right.
shout out to Ted for making a sick book. If you're in the
Shout out
chat,
to Ted.
shout out Ted if you like Ted. Let me know.
Yes.
Let us know your favorite page in syncopation, and if it's 38, 38. What's up?
38.
Got
What do you want to sing it?
got. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, should we all sing it together in tandem?
Can we-
Da, 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 da,
Yeah, that was good. Good
The
clapping.
sinking is gonna be
So let me check this out here. We have Russell's YouTube channel, kicking it out here. Let me. Oop. Oops. Scan this
Oh
over
yeah,
here. Um,
I spend hours on my thumbnails.
your thumbnails are good, man. Um, deep vibes, yes. Chop and flip, loving it. Deep in it. This is good. Um, I'm gonna go back to your Instagram here in a sec because they'll load faster. But make sure if you guys don't know about Russell's YouTube channel, he's got a shit ton of videos that you should all check out. Really worth your time to check out other drummers out here in the world because
Thank you.
it's
Yes.
important.
Also on like Instagram and TikTok in particular, they like compress the shit out of the audio.
They sure do.
So the YouTube is like the like as I mean I try to get the mixes sounding good, but then it just gets totally squashed sometimes.
Yeah.
So YouTube is the place to like hear how it was intended.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Hey, peace out, Ned. Thanks for coming. Um,
Here, Ned.
um, good. Maybe I'd love to check out since we're on the YouTube channel here. Maybe we can listen to one of these tracks that one of your favorite videos that you've made lately.
Sure.
Anything in particular, or can I click a random one?
Let's
Maybe we can stick with a drumming one. Let's put it that way, and then we'll get to the production in a sec.
okay. Yeah, let's do the meditating one. Okay. In case folks haven't seen that.
I almost drew this one because I like the sweater, but
Oh. Yeah, it's a good one.
okay. All right, let me get to the beginning here. One day, getting a new computer in July. Sorry, guys.
It's all good.
Yeah, YouTube is like a big, how do I say? Such a RAM stealer.
It really is.
Because you're running the streaming stuff too at the same time.
Yeah. Here, let's check out the Instagram version. All right. And sound on. And we're here. Love it.
Thanks.
I'm curious.
Yeah, that actually got cut because Instagram Reels have a 30-second cap, so it's not quite the whole thing.
Yeah.
But
Fucking Instagram Reels.
Freaking
Snubbing us of drumming shit.
yep.
Dope. Thanks, Ned. Gosh, what was my question? Oh, that was my observation. Tell me about this effect symbol, man. It looks like a shark bit it a couple times, which is chill.
Oh yeah.
Which is
It's
chill.
it was given to me like that actually. Like an old friend of my dad's had it lying around somewhere. I was like, oh, I'll take this.
That's what's up.
But then it's been like broken even more since I got it. But I think it's got a really nice like dead sound, like, and that's
Yeah.
it.
I feel like when I was watching some of your other videos, you use that as a stack too. Is that right?
Sometimes, yeah.
Like on some of the you did some what's the Matt Garska cover videos, Animals as Leaders cover.
Oh right, yeah. That's because the China I have is like really big and really loud, So I just kind of use that in place of it.
Yeah.
Um,
Let me look. I want to ask about this one too. Yeah. So tell me, tell me how you did these like gorilla drum setups and how fast. You know, was it just three of your friends walking in with each hardware? You set up and you go, and don't talk to
yeah, yeah.
anybody.
No, we just went in, set up in the dairy aisle, played, and then was out of there in like less than 5 minutes.
Did you get kicked out, or were they like, yeah? Tell me. I feel like this is like a little slight homage to skateboard culture, where you go in and
Oh,
skate to
that's
school,
interesting.
and like the security kicks
Yeah,
you out, and you. That's like to me like I would have liked to see that part too. Like the person,
right.
like it's like the security guard that comes over and tries to rip the skateboard from the dude, and the guy's like, "You're not gonna take my skateboard," but you'd be like, "You're not gonna take my bass drum," or like, or you know,
Yeah, well, that place they actually ended up being cool, and like some of the like butchers and stuff came over to watch after the fact. We didn't get like kicked out, but I made a similar video, and I tried to break into a church and do it like a fancy church on the Upper West Side, and we got kicked out. And then we tried to do it on the front steps, got kicked out of there as well. So I definitely have gotten kicked out
yeah,
before, but not at the supermarket.
a lot of these videos, you know, I mean that I saw like are you playing in random places. One of which was like the Scientology building in L.A.
Yeah,
Tell me about that one. What the
yeah,
fuck?
that's not green screen. That's the real
Yeah,
place.
that's like the real big building in Hollywood, right?
Yeah,
Um,
they
were they
yeah.
into
I'll
it?
just uh, they, the security guard. They have these weird security guards that are like on bikes, like circling the place the whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And we just asked them, and they're like, "Yeah, as long as you're not like insulting our message or whatever." So, um,
Okay,
so we just did it, and we're out of there in 3 minutes.
very good.
um,
What about this?
yeah.
I'll do one more here. You played in like a some sort of a restaurant here.
Oh, the Chinese food place.
So like you got permission from these people mostly.
Yeah, we did ask. We did ask,
Everyone was.
and they were cool.
Was there any place that you didn't ask and it wasn't chill, that wasn't filmed, or that was filmed and you couldn't use it?
Well, that church that I don't
Right.
know if that video is still up, but yeah, I mean, I'll use it even though even if we get kicked out, I'll still use the video. But nah, usually people are cool. They're like, yeah, whatever, just like not too long. But some, I mean, I've tried other videos where like the employees and stuff are cool, and then customers will walk in and be like
Disgusting.
grossed out that I'm
Yeah.
there, and it's just like, dude, just vibe with me, man.
I know.
um, but yeah, most of the time they're either cool or we've gotten permission. So
Yeah, because I mean, I feel
not to
like
take away the mystique of it all, but that's what happens.
yeah, it might be different if you were like going in there and playing like just like this abusive double kick breakdowns, but like playing like a sick James Brown funk beat is like definitely the grocery store Chinese food restaurant. Scientology vibe.
Definitely, definitely, yeah.
Like when you get people dancing, and you have the reactions in your videos too. I think like that's just like so key to make these videos like very pleasurable, pleasurable to watch, interesting
Thank
to
you.
watch,
Yeah.
fun to watch.
No, it's true. Watching like, I mean, just in general, I love watching like reaction videos to like, I mean, you guys probably remember like when Eminem dropped that MGK diss track a couple years ago.
Hmm.
Mhm.
I don't know if you remember that, but anyway, there's a ton of really funny reactions to that. But yeah, watching people's reactions, especially this day and age, we're all in lockdown due to COVID. Like I don't know, that human connection, like you just said, is very real.
Yeah. Well, those were all recorded pre-pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and you have a pretty interesting following on TikTok as well because of these videos, yeah?
Yeah, it's like pretty new. I've only been on there for like 6 weeks or something.
But
Um,
it's been nice, you know. TikTok is such an interesting place to like for musicians in a way because it's such a different it's a different culture of viewer, you know. Um,
Totally.
you know,
Yeah.
this is something we talk about on the stream too often, but yeah, I'm really curious on how like social media has served you or not served you pre-pandemic and post. Like how do you use the
Um,
internet to your advantage, or do you hate the internet and you wish it should go away?
I mean, a little bit of both, I guess. I think there are ups and downs. Um, pros and cons as we're all aware of, but like, I mean, we all have to, as musicians, we have to learn how to adapt to, the world that we live in. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the internet is a place to take advantage of the fact that you can show people what you can do. And like, people aren't going to know how good you are unless you show them. And so doing things like the supermarket video and the Chinese restaurant, those kind of like more memey videos is kind of my way of trying to bring people into the world so that they'll also enjoy my like drum covers and the more kind of intricate, more cerebral drumming stuff. Yeah, I think it's good. It's like I've had people reach out to me that want me to play on their track and like play in like various other gigs and projects through that.
Yeah.
Um, and if it wasn't there, like who knows? So I think it's cool. But to your point about TikTok, like it's kind of interesting because they first of all, like Instagram and Facebook, like it's like people like I'm sure you've had a similar experience. Like we've tons of people we know through our lives, like friends from years past. But on TikTok, I literally don't know any of those people.
Right.
So it's all just like totally new faces and stuff. A lot of younger, it definitely skews younger, I think.
Sure.
Which is kind of interesting because so many of the comments I'm getting on there now is like, do more drum and bass. Like whenever I post like I've done a few drum and bass ones, and whenever I post one that's not drum and bass, there's always like, where is drum and bass? Like I want to go back to D&B talk. Um,
Right.
so who knew that Gen Z just loves drum and bass?
They love that shit, man. Everyone, drum and bass is such a it's like, I don't know, it just makes you want to dance, It's something that like it's hype music. It's like you don't
Yeah,
the uncertainty of the downbeat even to like a normie in drum and bass is like thrilling versus like you play a groove in
yeah,
7 to a normie and you're like they're just like they don't get it. Unless it's fucking take 5, like they don't
yeah,
get it. They don't even know that shit's in 5,
right.
which is
Unless you do like a metric modulation or something like that.
yeah. It's
Like you
funny.
can you can have a groove in 7 and still kind of have a backbeat in 4 on top of it,
Sure.
and some people don't even know that's actually in 7,
Yes, I
which is
have
cool.
too. I have watched that Adam Neely video. No, I'm kidding.
I actually, if we get into some clips, Gavin Harrison is the king of that. That like after I got over Linkin Park, I loved like Radiohead and Porcupine Tree, and like all those bands are so good at like masking how actually intellectual their songwriting is because it still grooves and it still sounds beautiful and etc.
Yeah. Let's let's get into Gavin Harrison because I didn't know about this dude until you sent that video along.
Oh, dude, he's like one of my favorite ever.
Yeah, because I watched. Let's see. You wanted to start at a certain spot. Let me wait for that to
Yeah, I
load
mean,
up.
there's a bunch of clips.
Chill,
What's
Gavin.
that?
Chill, Gavin. Let's
Perfect example of a rock drummer that knows how to play jazz.
yeah. This is from PASIC 2008.
Yeah,
PASIC
throwback.
Percussion Arts Society in Compton, right?
It looks like it, yeah. But Gavin, huge influence on me for sure.
Yeah, let's check
So
out this Gavin video. Prepare to get copyrighted flagged. Here we go. I love his use of all the bells too.
yeah,
Texture guy. For sure. So nice sonars too.
oh yeah. This bit is so cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is where you said to start. Snare is so crisp.
So good.
Yeah. Wow. Way to go, Gavin. That was
Way
killing.
to go. He's just like so precise. Like perfect example of someone who's grooving because he's precise.
Yeah, I
You
want to
know,
go back and
it's just-
hear this other section. I think it's the part that. Yeah, it is the part. Bro, like, I mean,
That shit.
that like this bell. I don't know. Like, what are these symbols? Are they like bells? Are they little splashes? Or like, are they something different?
Yeah, they're like little bells, little bell
Okay, just
splash
little bells.
things.
Bells. Okay,
Yeah.
that sound like is
It's so absurd.
yeah, it's so sick.
It's like so absurd that it like makes me want to laugh. Like, but I like it. You know what I'm saying? It's still the phrasing that he did was crazy.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Oh, Ned is back.
Yo,
What's up?
Ned didn't even leave. What up, Ned? You guy? Holy shit, he says. This is what's up because we're just bringing light to Gavin Harrison today. Thank you, Russell, for bringing Gavin
my
to our
pleasure.
attention. Yeah, there's a part of me that really wants to go back and like, well, I probably will after today, but like going back and like watching a bunch of these old, like late or I would call them early O's, like Pay6 and Modern Drummer festivals and stuff like this because like
Yeah.
it's kind of weird. Like I feel like Gavin is still like Chuck. I mean, when you see people with like multiple splashes up there, like that's like some early '90s, late '80s like drummer influences. Like people aren't rocking splashes like that anymore at all.
Brushes are like kind of
No, yeah.
over.
I don't think splashes are quite canceled, but I feel
Not
like
catchy, but they're kind of over. They're kind of dead.
I feel
Unless
like
you're
if you have a
splash-
cymbal stand for one splash, it's just extra. Like.
yeah, that's cap. for
Like
sure.
you, you need to like throw it on. You need to invert that splash and put it on your crash cymbal. Then it's acceptable.
Yeah, or put it under the crash cymbal, or like have
On your
at
snare
least
drum.
the puppy dog bones from DW. It looks cool with
Ooh.
those.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, I think like with that, he's coming more from like the like classic prog rock drummer
Sure.
like setup, like where they had a really big kit. Like it's almost like an orchestral percussion kind of palette that they set up for themselves. I mean,
right.
you guys obviously know like Terry Bozzio's kit. It's just like
And then the
So
drums
extra.
are open. The drums are really open.
Sure. Yeah. Very,
Yeah.
very like boomy, fun stuff. Let's one other dude that you said that was really influenced that you really like that I also really love is D'Anthony Parks.
oh yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say he's like one of my like main influences, but this clip is just unbelievable. And the way he works in like samples and stuff.
Mhm.
So
D'Anthony is an interesting cat because I actually got turned on to D'Anthony when I watched there's a couple of interesting Nate Wood videos like interviews like prior to him moving to New York specifically, like he did one with this like Hollywood drummer, I think is what it was called, and he mentioned D'Anthony back then and how it's just like, dude, if you don't know, and I couldn't spell his name and find him for a whole like couple like YouTube searches, and I was getting so frustrated because he just wasn't as YouTube, I don't know, visible at that point.
Yeah.
But lately, in the past, 5 years, it's been, D'Anthony's been putting out some great stuff. So
yeah.
peep D'Anthony Parks, everybody, and let's listen to Bombay real quick. We won't. Maybe that's 3 minutes. We'll listen to it. Here it comes. It's just stupid, man. Like how intricate that. I mean, like when drummers watch this, I know it's like complete. Whoops, not yet, not yet. Um, it's just complete like. It's just. I have to use the word fuckery because, like, any and I love the term normie that's listening to this stuff is like, what
Yeah.
what's going on? Like, I think they can understand that he's playing that sound from the keyboard,
Mm-hmm.
his sample and his chopped, but like everything else is like, you know, oh
Yeah. Yeah, and the way he like has so much variation going on throughout, like it's like we were talking about earlier, like it's improvised, but it is like a composition. The way he has kind of like the way he builds it up, and then that ending little motif where he like will play it, and then he'll play it like I don't know 1/16 note shorter, and then the next time around I'll play 1/16 note shorter than that, and then
mm-hmm.
at the end of it, it's just like bam boom, and that's it. It's
Yeah,
like very, it's like pretty sophisticated,
kind of like
even though it's still
like a
so
diamond.
crazy. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, D'Antoni's he's just such a. I think he's one of the more different drummers out there as far as when you go into the realm of solo drummers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's on the list of like doing it his way, and no one else has come close to like trying to do what he does. I love that he has it on his right side. I don't know if you I'm sure you have, Russell. You've probably tried playing drums and synth at the same time, or drums and
Yeah.
keyboard at the same time in maybe in ways.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that too deep into it.
Uh-huh.
But it's hard. It's
It
hard.
yeah, it is hard, but it's easier than most think. I feel like to have the independence that you've already built up,
Right.
and just playing a little more melodically than you have with your other hand. Um,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know like you know that band Paris Monster?
oh yeah,
Yeah, so he's a perfect example. And singing lead vocals and drumming and playing keys in his right hand.
yeah,
Like, you know,
it's so sick.
yeah.
I for a while was playing in a math rock band where I got to play bass synth with my left hand and all the other drums with my right. That was really fun. Um, and
Nice.
that was kind of super influenced by Paris Monster in that sense of like, oh fuck, he can do it. Okay,
Yeah.
this is doable.
Wait, so you had the keys to the left of your hi-hat?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, it was. It's an interesting, and I don't know. We the guitarist moved to Mississippi since then, so we don't have any shows or anything. But yeah, it was really fun to like get into like the one handed rep, which is very very different. Um, and
Yeah.
splitting doubles between your hands was really fun.
Right.
Highly recommended. Y'all should try it.
Get into like more linear beats.
Yeah.
Do only linear beats.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, it's just trying to mask that you're only playing with one hand at that point,
Right.
and like
Yeah.
your hi hat becomes, a lot more melodic because of like got to keep it moving to keep those beats churning out.
Exactly. I mean, the with like tighter grooves, I think it's probably you can like get pretty far, but once you get into like having to play crash cymbal on the quarter notes, then you're like, then like things
Yeah,
get kind of tricky.
crash, crash, snare, crash, crash, crash,
Yeah.
snare. It doesn't really work.
No. Unless you can hit like portamento on your keyboard and like do a long note and then hit the crash change note, then go back and hit both.
Yeah, you have the sustain
One
just
way to do it.
cranked and like boom, like yeah. When I watch, I mean, I kind of reference him a lot today, but Nate Wood when he does it, it's very just seamless. You don't miss anything.
Ridiculous. He's
He's also
ridiculous.
got like many. He has like sequences going on like three synths sometimes and a bass, and I mean, he's gonna be on the stream one day. I feel it. I feel
I
it.
I will
He's
be there
playing
when he
tomorrow.
comes on.
He's playing tomorrow. Oh, is that with Lewis Cole and isn't that in New York?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Chris Fishman, who is
Chris
a friend
Fishman.
actually.
That is dope.
Yeah.
Are you gonna
Is that
go?
good? Are you gonna go? Yeah.
It's sold out. It's sold out in like a day.
Fuck.
But they'll be back.
Yeah.
So
Are they playing duo plus keys or are they each playing a set and then they're playing a trio set? Do you know?
uh I have no. They're playing as a band. I'm almost sure of that.
Okay. Cool.
But I don't know who knows who's playing what when you have Lewis Cole on there.
Yeah.
Maybe Nate's gonna play bass.
True. Have you
I
seen
I
that Zach Danziger or not Zach Danziger? Who is the keyboardist? Jason Linder and Nate Wood have a couple videos out. Where Nate has his kind of like four rig going and Jason Linder's just playing Jason Linder show. Um, really cool
Was it
stuff.
Donnie McCaslin shit?
No, they're just duo. It's just Jason and Nate like at some club in New York like pre-pandemic. It's really good.
Wow.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, peep that. It's insane what they do. It's like I think it's all black and white, like one camera style, or maybe like multiple cameras. I'm not sure. Okay, cool. Let's get back into our main attraction of Russell Holzman. Everybody, let's get it happening. um, so yeah, we kind of alluded to this earlier, but you're in this band called Broken Love. I gave this a listen earlier. Um, not this one. But you also had a band. I'm curious, is this the same frontman singer from this a band ago or no? You had like some So Far Sounds videos out there.
Oh yeah, no, that was my last band, which
Okay.
was called Caverns.
Right.
And no, this is a new project
Okay.
that I've only been playing with them since like spring of 2019 ish.
Are you their first drummer or the next drummer?
Well, it's like a very new band. They had like one drummer for a little bit, but I guess it wasn't working. So,
Got it.
yeah. So they actually the bass player is the one who he played bass in Hairspray, in high school with me.
Cool.
Great bass player, and he invited me to come and play with them, and they liked me, and it's it's all been good. We actually got we were gonna play 4 festivals with Metallica last summer before the pandemic hit. Which,
That's a bummer.
would have been nice, and then obviously tours and stuff too all got canceled.
Yeah.
But
Dang.
stuff is coming back slowly. So,
Could have got to kick it with Lars, dude.
dude, Lars and me are like this.
So this is Broken Love. Let's give this a listen.
This is gonna hurt. Been alone before, but this ain't gonna work. Try so hard to stay connected, but the noise I hear inside makes it hard to see a bright.
That snare sound is like so open, so roomy. What is that snare?
It's something they had at the studio.
Some
Can't remember.
some
You
no-name
recorded this?
bat beater sickness here.
I remember it was like so heavy. Like when the guy handed it to me, I was like, "Oh shit, this is not the snare you take on the road."
Can we keep this going on? You say, oh no, not me, 'cause I'm barely alive. Can't hardly breathe, 'cause I'm buried inside. And I'm crying when you say, my love, can we keep this going on? Oh no, not me, 'cause I'm buried inside. Feeling like a curse, like I'm gonna end up rolling in a hearse. This paranoia's raining real heavy.
Very cool. So yeah,
Yeah.
you guys check out Broken Love. I love the art. Who did it? It's like some tattoo
Someone-
artist did it. But
Yeah, well, it's funny because our singer actually got a tattoo of that on his forearm. So
now
he
he's
did
in
something right.
in the band for life.
Yeah.
Very cool. And I wanted to talk about this one too. This seems like a bit of a collaboration side. Lots
Oh,
of
yeah, this
lots
is
of
a-
stuff happening on this record, and you played on just one of these tracks.
I believe so. Yeah. I mean, this is very, very much a change of vibe from
Totally.
Broken Love. But yeah, this is a good friend of mine who's a producer. And yeah, he came up here and was like, "Hey, just play some drums on this like vibey vamp," and he like edited it together interestingly, and there's like layers of different takes going on here, and it came out really cool, I think. And also this, I can't like I've beefed up my home recording a lot since then, but before I had just like 4 dry mics, and he really got it to sound good. So
Very
don't underestimate what can be done in post, everyone.
Heck yeah. Let's give this a short listen. this is such a cool record. Um, that's the longest song on the record, by the way, too, by by like 5 seconds. So very cool. Go check out Is it movie? I guess.
Movi, I think.
I was gonna say Moby. Damn it.
Movi, yeah. It's the whole record is really, really enjoyable. So highly recommend it for
I
everyone.
just
Check it out.
got it. I got it on Bandcamp.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. So and two, Bandcamp Friday is coming up, y'all. So
Right.
if you're put it in your cart, put it in your cart, stream it, buy it on Friday, or if you can't wait, like Brandon, you can buy it right now, and check that shit out because this is dope. It's very very modestly priced as well. So
Yes.
that's like a venti sweet. That's like a king coffee at Starbucks. So just skip it once, y'all, and get this album instead.
Before tax.
Yeah, because we live in taxable states, not like Nevada or anything. Whoops, not the new webcam. Chrome. Okay, so good. So we're wrapping up. We're wrapping up over here. We one thing I still want to get into is some of your producing, Russell.
Oh, of course.
You have a very interesting rig that I feel like not a lot of people, or maybe I bet a lot of people have actually seen these rigs before, but maybe don't understand what the heck's going on. Yeah, man. So tell us what the heck is going on, man? What are all these blinky things?
Yeah. Well, I have Christmas lights wrapped around it.
Oh,
So that accounts for some of the
false
blinking.
blinkies. Got you.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I have. Well, the heartbeat of it is the Digitact, which is a made by this company Electron, who I've grown to like a lot, as you can see.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a digital drum machine, so it works completely in waveform samples. And I just like the sequencer and the way like you can parameter lock steps in the sequence, and that has filters, LFOs, like reverb delay. Like there's just it's really kind of a world unto its own. And like I discovered pretty recently actually that like I can't create on the computer. Like there's just something about like staring, like there's nothing less inspiring to me than staring at a blank Ableton session. Like it doesn't work for me, and I wish it did, because it would be way more efficient if I could just produce everything on the computer. But like I need to have that like tactile experience of like pressing buttons, turning knobs, like actually playing melodies rather than like drawing it in MIDI. And like just being on the computer, like opening this plugin, going through this menu, like right clicking on this, then closing that and scrolling. It's just like it's just not a vibe for me. So I prefer to be on my little screens here and just vibe out.
So how long have you had the Digitact?
I got the Digitact in like November of 2019, I think.
Okay.
And like what I'm doing there, for example, which is why I also got the synth version, which is like an FM synth that has the full keyboard, the Digitone keys. So I'm using this as like a controller for the Digitact. Like so for example, that sample, the that's a one shot that's on my Digitact that I'm like just controlling with the keyboard here. So it's really nice. These boxes, they talk to each other really well. It's a nice like tactile workflow.
Interesting. Man, because yeah, I've seen people, like I've watched some of what's this guy with the crazy hair, his name?
Cuckoo, yeah.
Yeah.
Great tutorials.
Oh, he's the best.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of his, a lot of his pocket operator videos, a lot of his OP1 videos. He's just seems to be some dude that like gets the Dallas electronics like that very, very well. And I've watched a Digitech video of him like playing it on the synth or on the like on the train or something, and like how he's just like he I think he was the one that I heard that was like, yeah, this isn't the most easiest thing to learn, but once you get it, you really like it becomes a I don't know, it just becomes easier, just like anything. But
Yeah, totally. I mean, like, it's not the easiest thing to learn, but it's also not the hardest thing to learn. Like, they also make another box. You guys have probably heard of the Octatrack,
mm,
which is like a much beefier version of the Digitact. It's been out a longer time, but like, man, there's a lot of like menus and menu diving and like dealing with things. You can do amazing shit on it that you can't do on this. But I don't know. I feel like the Digitact is a really nice like middle ground to just like sit down and start making beats on.
what's the price point of that, if you don't mind me asking?
It's actually gone up since I got it. I got mine on Reverb for like 600, I
Uh-huh.
think. And then the Digitone keys is a little more expensive. It was like 900 something. Um, so still much less expensive than getting like a Prophet 6.
Sure.
But yeah.
And
That's
what made you go that route other than the uninspiring blank daw?
I don't know. There's honestly, man, there's something about the aesthetic of these boxes that I was really drawn toward. Just like the crisp OLED display and like the knobs, which are like encoders, so they never end. You can just scroll infinitely,
Oh, okay,
and
that's
like
cool.
they change depending on what menu you're on. So like there's always a knob for whatever menu you're going towards, and yeah, I don't know. There's just something about these flat black boxes that are highly functional that I'm really drawn towards. I
Man,
mean, if I were to go really hands on, then you're getting to like full on modular synth world
right.
and like that's I'll get into that like later in life, but for
Yeah.
now I'm down with this.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of drummers use this though. You know, like Joris or Joris. I'm pretty sure it's Joris. Joris is a big fan of the Digitect. And his band Email is also they run these things live too. Um,
Oh wow, they use Digitact Live.
yeah,
Cool, good for
which
them.
is cool, man. He Cause yeah,
Yeah,
Joris is like a big. He's big into sensory percussion too, so he's got everything linked up with everything as much as he can. Um,
nice.
I want to listen to one more of these creations. Love it. And
So the full thing's on YouTube for people who want to check that out.
yeah, and his YouTube is Russell Holzman. Go look it up,
Yes.
everybody. Um, man, I'm inspired. I'm always inspired when we get people on here that are just 100% creative, creating all the time, different mediums, different sounds, fun stuff. It's always
Thanks, man.
um,
Yeah, I'm inspired by your passion for this stuff.
oh man,
Makes me want to get into it even more.
it's easy. It's a slippery slope. This thing we call music, you know.
Yeah.
um, well, let's see where are we at. We got we got 6 minutes left, you guys. Is there any? Let me see if there's anything I didn't
Like,
hit. Um, man, actually, I hit it all. This is great. Oh,
I would love to play for you. I guess I don't know. We don't have much time
oh,
left.
please play me something.
One of these Marcus Gilmore solos. Can we do the recording, the VJ Ira recording? Have you guys heard that?
Let me
Yeah.
Sent you a link. Taking Flight.
Yeah,
You heard that, Brandon?
yeah,
Is that
yeah.
is that the link you sent me?
Yeah. I
my
sent you the record. It's like a recording.
I watch a lot of these joints with my bassist because he's actually really a drummer and he's like he's ahead. Like he's the one who showed me Bob Moses and like
Oh, nice.
he'll show me all the deep cuts from like market from all the drummers. We like just get on the deep cuts with each other with that kind of shit.
Oh, nice.
Let me
Sick. I
it's-
want to come hang with you guys and just watch this this stuff all night.
bro. Anytime you're in LA, let me know. You
Or
got a couch.
or Austin, shit.
Yeah. Or Austin.
Yeah, Austin's cool. You'd like Austin a lot, I think.
That's,
That snare is huge, by the way. That looks like a 9-inch fucking deep ass snare. Have you seen Marcus Gilmore's stuff with Zakir Hussein?
uh, yeah, not in a while, but I remember back in like college watching those videos.
So sick. This
So,
this
man,
stuff reminds me a lot of that as far as his like phrasing and threes and stuff and like um man. And
yeah,
I
the
think
dotted quarter
some of
shit.
my favorite things, yeah, his the way he keeps ostinatos like while he solos like in his foot or in his or I mean, yeah, in his feet rather. I think that's
Yeah.
a huge thing with his other hi-hat cymbal or hi-hat stand too is how
Dude,
he
yeah,
keeps
and he's literally playing two hi-hats at the same time. He has one pedal on his heel and the other on his toe, and he's like playing two different rhythms
yeah.
and soloing with his hands. Like
It's
just
it's just like God, yeah, it's another instrument over there, you know, like
yeah.
that versus I don't know if you ever shed like left foot cowbell stuff, but like that's like to me that's almost the same way. Whereas you're playing something other than 2 and 4 or just straight quarters, you know, like you're playing a melody with your
Right.
left foot, you know. Um,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I
He's
feel
one of those drummers that like you can't like feel bad about yourself because he's so impeccable. Just this technicality of it is just like unmatched. So you got to remind yourself like we're all special in our own way.
yeah, yeah, and you can be that special too, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Russell, it's been fun. I
Sure
really
has.
enjoyed this time with you and Brandon and everyone here on the stream. Let's bring up your picture here. Yes, Russell, thank you for being here.
Yes.
I think it's about time to wrap up.
Sure.
My dog's giving me the eyes like, hey, it's 2 o'clock, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You gotta take me out. But so yeah, big round of applause for Russell eventually. Oh, whoops. That was a short round of applause, but
That's okay.
I'll give you an air horn maybe if it comes. Yeah. Russell, thank you for being here. Brandon, thank you for being here, and everyone in the chat. I know the TV viewer, Commander Root, Ned, Russell. Oh, Russell's here. Steamers, Discord community, interesting, and the yellow leather chair. Thank you guys for being here. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. We're here every week. Next week, we will be interviewing Ben Alon, a really great drummer from Israel who's heavy deep into Senegalese drumming. Check out Ben Alon, Benayaylon. Check out what he's doing. He calls himself the One Man Tribe. Plays entire Senegalese drum pieces by himself. All the parts. It's insane. Certainly worth watching if you like drummers with crazy left feet rather. Anyway, with that said, let's get out of here. Thank you, Russell. Thank you, Brandon.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody in the stream.
So
We'll
much.
see you guys next week on the drum stream, episode 17 next week. See y'all later.